Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. We're going to take a look at Friday's Times crossword now. I'll probably, just for something a little bit different, I'll try and speed solve it today and see how quickly we can go. And then, depending on how long that takes, we'll have a discussion at the end about any of the awkward moments. So, without further ado, let's try and launch it and see how we can go. Right, fine letting on quietly. No idea. Journey round old trailers. Nope. Scraped result worse than an F. Grey. G-rated. Grey. Worm. Sign of maturity. Comparatively less lustrous. Mouse. Grey matter. Sibling with problem returning shoes. Rogues, maybe? Not sure actually. What constitutes danger when exploding close to one? Grenade. Fiat for the time being. Desire nice motoring. Pro 10. I don't know. Pack in facility. Pack in cease. Ease. Hype needing a thorough looking at, we hear. No idea. Can form a nurse let go. Briefs look carefully at couples. Scanties. Mess about with branch in flower. No. Realtors go crazy for expert on houses. Astrology. Favour clue ending in anagram. Grand drunk getting excited. High time embracing Greek characters dance. Books to deliver without regular charge. Rent free. Should have got that more quickly. Notes ruin, mother's ruin, amounting trouble. Marginalia, probably. Guide wants to extend by several inches. Tenderfoot. City growth a blight. Screed, I think. Liberal turning to name its stupid testimony. Turning to name its stupid testimony. Witness. Witness, yeah, okay. What's some in church examination? Call. Oops. Delight in single entry. Glee. Journey around old trailers along the way, roadside. Yes, ride around. Scraped. A result worse than if I want this to be grated or G-rated, yes, okay. High society, leading couple away from sink with constant decay. Something rot. So, and it still looks like brogues. Decree nice on there. Hype. Needing a thorough looking at, we hear. Propaganda. It's a lovely conflict. Can former nurse let go? Loosen. Oh yeah, nice. It's not easy. Courses in which you'll get soup in some otherwise unhelpful places. Starters. Yes. Talk about why in. Starters, okay. Mess about with branch in flour. Branch. Favour. Clue. Ending in anagram. Grand drunk. Getting excited. Under something. High society. Upper something, not under. Scupper without the first bit. With constant decay on the crust. High time embracing Greek character dance. Minuet. Oops. Minuet. It still looks like tenderfoot. Let's put that in. Something in this one. Drunk. Gripped. Budapest. Oh, with problem returning. Snag. Wow. Brogan. Brogan. I didn't know that word. Must be right, I think. Mess about with branching flour. Fine. Letting on quietly. Sing. Okay, larkspur. Right, there we go. So Not an awful time. So assuming it's right, we'll now talk about some of those. Some quite interesting clues actually. You could see there were a number of moments where I paused for far too long. I should have, rent-free, I should have got much more quickly. So scripture lesson, that's always going to be RE or RI for religious instruction or religious education. Books, very often either New Testament or Old Testament, or just B or BB. To deliver, well, that was clearly going to be free by the time I've got to it without regular charge, rent-free. Now, the clues I struggled with, brogans I struggled with because I wanted to put in brogues. I'd never heard of brogans. In fact, let's just prove to ourselves that brogans are indeed brogan. There we go. Also, so it is a variant on the word brogue. Good Lord. And you can see there that the bro was fairly easy, which was the sibling. And then we needed, fairly clearly again, a reversal of a word that meant a problem. So I went for brogues originally, then couldn't see it how it works, and snag seemed to be forced a bit. I think I had the N at that point. So I managed to, and this is often the case for the Times crossword, even the very best solvers don't know all the words. You'll have seen Mark when he's solving these say, not sure that's actually a word, or vaguely on the edge of his memory. So firstly, we don't know all the words. Secondly, we definitely don't know what all the words mean. We just know we might have seen them before. So don't be afraid, if you're very confident from the rote wordplay, to just go with it and look it up afterwards. So 14 down, marginalia, you'll see I got that fairly quickly, and that's lucky or experience. I know the word from doing umpteen crosswords over the years, so I know it's a word that means notes. And I see the word ruin here. Short synonyms, always be thinking about short synonyms when you're solving the Times crossword. Can you think of a short synonym for every word in the clue? And if you can think of those short synonyms quickly, you'll actually find you can become a very proficient solver. So I immediately thought of mar for ruin, M-A-R, and that, you know, I don't really need to read the rest of the clue then. I know a word for notes that begins M-A-R that's about this long, and I can write it in. Mother's ruin, that's a word for gin. And then A, is this A? Mounting trouble, well, this is a down clue, so if we mount something, that could mean a reversal. So a reversal of a word that means trouble, well, you can see ale at the bottom there. My favourite clue was 23 o'clock cross, because I've not seen this a propaganda, as in a P-R-O-P-E-R, and a gander as in a G-A-N-D-E-R. That might be a way of saying have a thorough look at something, is to have a propaganda at it. And obviously if you say that like that, you can also hear the word propaganda, which can mean hype. So I really like that. 25 across, I was helped by, I saw the words former nurse in here, and I know the word sen, S-E-N, as being an old word for a nurse, so that's extremely helpful. But I was trying to put actually the sen at the start when I first looked at this clue, and then I thought let go might actually be an anagram of the word let. So that was how I first read the clue. It was only once I had a bit of help that I managed to remember that can of course be a synonym for a toilet. And then, can you think of a short synonym for a toilet? Well, yes, we can all think of the word loo, and then the clue becomes much more straightforward. Now, I suspect a lot of people will have had trouble with 26 across here, and I managed to see this relatively quickly, which was lucky. So courses in which you'll get soup, it is the definition here. So I managed to come up with starters, and then if you look at the starting letters of some otherwise unhelpful and places, you'll see they happen to be S, O, U and P. So you can actually get the word soup from the starting letters as well. So it's quite a clever clue, that. Sort of semi and lit. Briefs, well again, I'm very, the answer here was scanties, as in undergarments. And And the way to get this is short synonyms. Look carefully at. Well, I was trying to think of a short synonym for look carefully at. The first one I came up with was I, as in EYE. But it wasn't long before I thought of scan. And once you've thought of scan and you're thinking about briefs in the context of underwear, you can come up with scanties relatively quickly. What else to mention? 3 down. This was clearly an anagram. Realtors go crazy. But expert on houses, well, it's clever, very clever definition this. It'll immediately, if you read it, you're thinking of an estate agent or somebody who knows a lot about maybe the British, like the Tudor house, the House of Tudor or the House of Windsor. That was how I first read the clue, but of course houses can mean houses in the sky, as in the astrological houses, like Gemini, Leo, etc., etc. They're called houses too, and that's eventually what helped me with the anagram there. Minuet, I had the right idea, but Greek character, if you see Greek character, you're always thinking of, you know, it's going to be a Greek letter. The problem is there are a lot of them, and there are a lot of short ones as well. So, you know, is it mu or nu, for example? Is it chi or chi? I mean, there are so many different short Greek letters that can go in the middle of things. High time, I did even think of that being an anagram of time, but then thought, oh, let's come back to it. I just wasn't seeing the dance quickly enough. I think for a lot of really the best solvers, they may have been able to write 7 down in. For me, it took a little longer. Tenderfoot. You might have seen during the solve, I think I said tenderfoot before I wrote it in, simply because I wasn't very comfortable with extend being a definition of tender. Let's just check that now. So tenderfoot is an old guide, I think. Let's just put it in there. Yeah, a person, a newcomer, greenhorn. There you go. A Boy Scout or a Girl Guide who has only passed the first tests. And then tender being a word for to extend. I wasn't too sure about that. To offer. To offer there, okay, so to tender is certainly to offer something. So if you extend something, you obviously do tender it in the offer sense of the word. Which is, I think, what's being, there you go, to offer. I think what's being got out there. Anyway, that wasn't something I was immediately seeing, so there was the pause. 19 down. This was a nice clue as well. Liberal turning to name in stupid testimony. You just need to read the clue correctly. So I managed to spot that liberal can be abbreviated to L, N can be abbreviated to name. Therefore I knew I was looking for a 7-letter word that meant stupid, in which I could exchange the L for an N, and I would get a word which meant testimony. I managed to think of the 7-letter word for testimony, which was witness, and I backed into the witness part of that, so I could convince myself it was the right answer. Just finally there, 18 down, just to mention how to get the end of that answer there. So separate, well, that's clearly discrete, that's the definition. Record, short synonym again. Disc, you can also think, if you see record, you can think of log. You can think of EP and LP, as in the old form of records you might play on a record player. And then notes, well, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti and do. You need to know how to spell those musical notes, because they come up all the time. And so there we've got 2 musical notes, re and ti there, completing that answer. So anyway, I hope this was an interesting run through today, something a bit different. We'll be back for another video today on Sudoku. We're going to look at the diabolical puzzle that appears in the Daily Telegraph later. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy it, please do subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again next time. Cracking the Cryptic.